I never believed in ghosts until I started renovating my grandparents' old house. They had passed away years ago, and the house sat abandoned until I decided to move in. While cleaning out the attic, I found an old, dust-covered diary belonging to my great-grandmother. Curiosity got the better of me, and I began reading it by the dim light of the attic window. The diary started innocently enough, detailing daily life in the early 1900s. But as I flipped through the pages, the entries grew darker. My great-grandmother wrote about seeing figures in the shadows and hearing whispers at night. She believed the house was haunted by spirits who couldn't find peace. The last entry was the most chilling. She wrote that if anything should happen to her, it was the spirits that had claimed her soul. That night, as I lay in bed trying to shake off the unease the diary had instilled in me, I heard it for the first time. Faint whispering, coming from the direction of the attic. I told myself it was just the wind, but the whispers grew louder, more insistent. And then, a cold breeze swept through my room, despite all the windows being closed. I was paralyzed with fear, the whispering now so loud it was as if someone was speaking directly into my ear. But when I turned on the light, the room was empty. The whispering stopped and the room returned to normal, but the sense of being watched lingered. The next day, I visited the local library to research the history of the house. To my horror, I discovered that my great-grandmother had died under mysterious circumstances in the very room I now slept in. The official report mentioned nothing about spirits, but the timing aligned eerily with the last entry in her diary. I couldn't shake the feeling that by reading the diary, I had awakened something that had been lying dormant in the house. The whispers continued every night, growing more desperate. I realized that these spirits, whatever they were trying to communicate with me, possibly seeking help to find peace. Driven by a need to put an end to this haunting, I reached out to a local historian and a medium, determined to uncover the truth and help these restless spirits move on. It was a long and emotionally draining process, involving seances and historical research. But we finally discovered that the spirits were former residents who had suffered tragic deaths and were unable to leave the place they had called home. We held a ceremony to help them find peace, and since then, the house has been quiet. The whispers have stopped, and the feeling of being watched has disappeared. This experience taught me to respect the stories and histories of those who came before us. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, don't ignore the signs. Listen, research, and seek help if necessary. Sometimes the dead just need someone to acknowledge their stories to find peace. And remember, always treat the past and its keepers with respect. You never know when you might need their help to find peace of your own.